Hey, what's up everyone? Here's a quick video of my poor man's audio setup for year 2020. So let's get right into it. So I've started my audio journey year 2014. It all started with my interest with home theater. So I had a simple home theater setup back then. I still got most of the audio equipments until now. And then I got hooked in music stereo listening. So I started to get some amplifier and speakers for stereo listening. To start it with my TV setup, it's a TCL 50-inch 4K Ultra HD TV. So I use this for my home theater setup and for Netflix as well. So again, this is the TCL 50 inches 4K Ultra HD TV. So the star of the show of my home theater setup is a very simple old model Onkyo receiver. This is the TX709. It's a 7.2 receiver. This was, I think, launched year 2012 or early 2013. So this is already an old model. It's not Atmos capable, but it does the job for me. I still enjoy it. I'm still satisfied with it. It's capable of 7.2 setup. So I'm just using one subwoofer. Okay. So this is capable of 130 watts and this has 8 HDMI inputs. For my front speaker, this is my Sony SS-X9S. It's a three-way floor standing speakers. It has a max output of 250 watts at 8 ohms. This is already an old speaker. This was produced in the early 90s and weighs about 31 pounds each and about 39 inches tall. Its material is veneer. It has a veneer finish and its speakers has a Kevlar material. Now its strength is it's punchy and has controlled bass, but in my observation it lacks some treble and high range frequency. Again, this is the Sony SS-X9S, which I'm using for my fronts. For my surrounds on my home theater, I'm using a B&W DM600S3. So this is a two-way speakers. It has 100 watts at 8 ohms. For my subwoofer, this is my Boston Acoustics ASW250. It's just hidden at the corner. This is a downfiring 10 inches driver and weighs about 32 pounds and has 100 watts RMS. So this is not the most rattling subwoofer, but I'm happy with its performance. For my simple home theater setup, it gets a job done. So again, this is the Boston Acoustics ASW250. For my center speakers in my home theater setup, I'm using a B&W HTM62. This is the smaller brother of the HTM61, but again, I'm happy with its performance when I'm using it for my home theater setup. So it has a clear sound for my movies. The rear speakers is a Polk Audio TSI 100. It has 100 watts capacity into 8 ohms. And it's good for a rear speaker. This is my simple acoustic treatment. So this helps with my audio listening for movies and stereo listening. So let's get into my stereo setup. This is one of my integrated amplifier. It's a NAD 375B amplifier. It has 150 watts of continuous power in 4 or 8 ohms. And has 7 line inputs. And what's a good thing about this is it has a built-in DAC and can be used with A and B speakers. So for me, in my setup, this is my most powerful integrated amplifier for my stereo listening, the NAD375B. This is one of my tube amplifier. It's a Cayin CS55A. It has 40 watts power at 8 ohms for its ultralinear mode. And when using its triode mode, it has 20 watts output at 8 ohms. So this weighs about 37 pounds and uses KT88 as its main tube, the Cayin CS55A. So this is my favorite tube amplifier, the Dynaco ST70. So this is a vintage tube amplifier. It has 35 watts power, uses quad EL34 tubes, and this one is a restored unit. So this was restored by Rene Rivo. The cage was powder coated, the chassis was chrome, and I upgraded the capacitors. So Dynaco ST70. My preamp for my Dynaco ST70 is the NAD326B integrated amplifier. So this is my preamp. This is a 50 watts integrated amplifier from NAD. Okay, so here's one of my analog sources. This is a Sony 2310 turntable. This is already a vintage turntable, so I use this for analog listening. I'm using a brick phono preamp for this turntable. So one of my CD player, it's a Cambridge Audio Topaz CD5 compact disc player. I also have a Denon DN-S3000. This is a DJ type CD player and mixer. Another CD player from Denon, the Denon DN-9000. This is a DJ type CD player and mixer as well. A home theater PC is also necessary for movies and audio listening. So I have an HT PC for movies and Spotify. Another turntable from Audio Technica, LP1240. So this is a direct drive turntable. This is my only vintage receiver. This is the Sansui 8, and I love this vintage receiver since this is powerful for its 60 watts specifications. It's punchy and good for my JBL PT800 speakers. My only vintage speaker, this is the JBL Studio Monitor 4412. This is one of my bookshelf speaker for audio listening. This is the Infinity Kappa 200. It's a two-way speaker, and I got this on sale a few years back, and I love its performance. It's very heavy, and I love this since I got this on a very good price. So this one is a JBL PT800 stand mount speaker, but I had this on a custom stand. Okay, so JBL PT800. So this is my favorite florstander speaker, which I'm using together with my Dynaco ST70. This is a three-way floor standing speakers, about 42 inches tall, 8 ohm speakers, and has a veneer finish as well. It has a 1-inch tweeter. There we go, that's the 1-inch tweeter. It has 6.5 mid-range and a dual 7-inch woofers. This can be bi-wired for optimum performance. So this is the Polk Audio RTIA7. We also got another CD player. This is the TEAC compact disc recorder, CD RW880. So I use this as my secondary compact disc player. I've got another subwoofer, but this one I'm using it for stereo listening to have some punch on my music. So this is a Velodyne impact subwoofer. This is a 8-inch front-firing subwoofer. So I just use this to add some punch to my stereo listening. This bookshelf speaker doesn't need much introduction. This is the KEF LS50. This is my go-to guy speaker for stereo listening. So the KEF LS50. I store my digital files to an Asus Store network attached storage. So I have 8 terabytes of storage here for digital listening. So this is the Asus Store NAS. So there you go, guys. That was my audio setup for this year. I understand that there are a lot of room for improvements for this setup. I have very limited budget and space, but in the future, if I have some budget and if I can improve further my space, then I have plans to upgrade this setup. So let me know down in the comment section below, guys, on your thoughts and the things that I can improve further in my setup. You can also share your setup. In the future, I'm trying to plan to upgrade my stereo speakers and also my amplifier. So please comment on the comment section below on your suggestions, and yeah, let me know your thoughts about this setup. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and don't forget to like or dislike this video. Thank you.